where on Earth is the highest concentration of extraterrestrial evidence or life and UFOs? Is Area 51 the place for this? Where is the highest concentration of this stuff?
Well, your question was talking about actual ETs. That's not there. But in terms of the evidence, no, the Area 51 is nowhere near as important as the Lockheed Skunk Works facilities and the remote sites out in the desert, the Dugway Proving Grounds. There's half a dozen places more important than Area 51. Moreover, Area 51 is not that important. The area north of there, going into Groom Lake, Area 52, 54, Area 51 is just a grid on a map. By the way. So it's become this cliche. It's an old area, old facility, but the state-of-the-art ones are not there. There are some key places north of there in what was called the Nevada Test Range, where we detonated the hydrogen bombs when we were testing, atmospheric testing. And we know where those places are, and we know what's kept there and what's operational. Same thing with the areas that are out in the high desert, in the Mojave Desert out near Edwards Air Force, what we call the Edwards Complex, which is in our map, and a description of all of these facilities are in our archive.
Where's the archive? Where can people go to the archive? I know there's a URL for that.
Yeah, dpiarchive.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, my assistant can give you all the links, or should have already.
Yeah.
And the other thing we're doing a new documentary that we're crowdfunding if people can help support it. We have an $800,000 goal, and we're going to release a documentary that we hope this fall. That will be an update of all of this. It's going to be the ultimate disclosure documentary that we're working on right now.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the most surprising, history shifting discoveries that could be found in some of these undisclosed locations?
Well, they're not undisclosed anymore, at least anyone who wants to look at our material, but they're unacknowledged.
Yeah.
By the way, that's people should look at the documentary Unacknowledged, which we released a few years ago. Bill Clinton was once being asked about all this with some celebrities, and he was in a limousine with a couple guys I know. And he said, well, if you want to know about this, I really was never to get to the bottom of it. Look at this documentary called Unacknowledged. Now, Unacknowledged, I named that documentary after the first word in Unacknowledged Special Access Project, or USAP. And those are the top secret programs that are not acknowledged, that are black. And then there's an illegal category of those that deal with UFOs. There are illegal unacknowledged projects that the president and the Congress Gang of Eight know about. And I don't disclose those. If they're legally, here's my criteria. The reason they can't do anything to arrest me is I only disclose unconstitutional, illegal projects. I do not disclose ones that are constitutionally overseen and managed. Big difference. Now that's the policy I've had since I first briefed President Clinton's CIA director in 1993 after he was elected, the first year of his term. I was flown up as a young doctor from North Carolina to brief the sitting CIA director, which was a terrible experience, actually. But people don't realize that there are two categories of black projects. They're the ones that are legal, but a very, very small number of people know about them, including the presidents and the top national security tier people in the Congress. And then there are these illegal ones. And there's the illegal ones that are involving UAPs, UFOs, the technologies, all the criminal activity. And basically, they constitute the biggest RICO in the world, racketeering influence corrupt organization. So I've recommended for decades that they use the RICO laws that were passed in 1970 to take down the mafia, to take down this criminal organization, which that is now being taken very seriously at last, 30 years later.
Is there anything, what would be the most shocking thing that you could disclose in this conversation? And is there anything that is like, quote unquote, breaking news or news soon to break or something that is coming down the pipeline that you have encountered?
Yeah, I think the biggest shock that most people don't realize is, let me just tell you, it's apocryphal, but it's an important story. A man on our team named Goodall. James Goodall is a very famous aerospace historian. And the week that the head of the Lockheed Skunk Works was dying, is his last week before he died of cancer in 1995, Mr. Goodall called Ben Rich, and asked about this whole issue. And I have a letter from Ben Rich to a friend that saying that there were both man-made and extraterrestrial UFOs in his handwriting on the stationery for the president of the Lockheed Skunk Works. That is in our archive. Everything's in there, my friend. Nobody reads, but it's not my fault people don't read. So I've spent 35 years and $20-30 million to put this together. If people don't want to look at it, it's not my fault. People say, where's the evidence? They're right there. Can you read English or whatever? So anyway, I get very frustrated with that. But, after putting this much effort and had 4 people on my team assassinated, and I've had 3 assassination attempts, and people don't even want to read. It's like, well, if you're so lazy and stupid, you don't want to read, it's not my fault. Anyway, I won't go on a spiraling rant about that anymore. But I have disclosure PTSD from doing this. At any rate, I will admit it. But the Ben Rich story is amazing because he said, look, anything you can imagine. So go look at he said, look at anything you've seen in Star Trek. We've already done at the Lockheed Skunk Works, and it's not at Area 51. It's out in the desert, and we know where those sites are. So.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, you might also enjoy this episode over here, as well as this one over here. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video.